Kieran Gillen and Esad Ribic begin the countdown to Judgment Day as Thanos activates Uranos Armory, priming the world to explode as the Eternals continue to battle the Avengers. Kieran Gillen rounds out his Hail Thanos and lead into Judgment Day stories with a fantastic finale filled with action, twists, and great character moments. I loved all of the tension built around the armory being activated and the world ticking down to destruction, and not only that, but also the reveal that Thanos isn't actually the one to kick off Judgment Day like I thought he was going to be, but it's Droog, who in classic Droog fashion has been working in secret through his multiple resurrections to ensure the Eternals come out on top. I love how Kieran wrote it since he left just enough time between Droog's other schemes earlier on in the series for us readers to kind of forget how much of a conniving schemer Droog can really be. So when the reveal comes near the end of this issue, it's just so satisfying. The ending setting up Droog as Prime Eternal and the sole reason Krakoa and the X-Men will be getting involved in the big event Judgment Day is great, and I'm looking forward to what he has planned. Esad Ribic ends his Hail Thanos artwork with some more fantastic visuals and character drama. I love the way he depicted Makari and Icarus in the battle with Thanos near the end of the book, and how he gave them the classic speed lines to show just how fast they were moving, and for some reason it just sets off that thing in my brain that makes them think, yeah, that's a superhero. That's like a very superhero look to these characters, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Eternals issue 12 was a fantastic ending to the Hail Thanos storyline and an even better lead into the massive Judgment Day event coming soon, ending on a great twist to the story that I did not see coming. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10. Eternals issue 12 finds the Avengers and Eternals battling one another in Little Hollow while Black Panther continues to deal with Kingo at Avengers Mountain. Namor, however, assures T'Challa his pacification of Cersei is going well, but Cersei knows she isn't being pacified at all, wanting another drink. Machine knows, however, Cersei is petrified, however, since she knows what they are fighting for. Cersei knows they need to know more about the Deviants in order to activate Thanos' self-destruct and save the world. Cersei hopes the Avengers can never find out about this, as Ajak meanwhile tells Makari that she can stop running, having beaten the truth out of the Celestial. Ajak reveals that she now has the schematic scriptures for the Deviants and all of their design goals that made them more important than the Eternals. Ajak had thought that she had come to the mountain thinking that the Celestials were disappointed in them and wanted some proof of their loyalty, and thought that maybe killing the Avengers who were living in the corpse of their god would pay this loyalty forward. But she was wrong, and she spent a million years following a religion that was not real, and they were brainwashed into doing so. Makari can only imagine the pain Ajak is going through, being that she was the most devoted follower of the Celestials, but Ajak knows the Celestials made her that way, and the living scripture they are is blasphemous. She becomes angered, wondering who judges the gods, thinking for a moment someone should. Thena contacts them for an update, so Ajak says that they have Phastos' failsafe and she has the anger that could sunder planets. Thena wants to ready for an escape, but that might be harder than she thinks as Thor continues to attack her. Ajak arrives through a portal, hitting Thor across the head as Machine notices that while Ajak was able to trap Echo and the Phoenix isn't so easy to keep captured, blasting out of its cage in a bright explosion that engulfs the whole group. Ajak knows that with the power level it could probably kill them all before they even get out of the bubble they've been trapped in. Makari tries to plot them a route out, as Machine knows that the Eternals however lack one key thing into defeating Thanos: time, as Thanos delves deeper into the mind of his father Alas to find the truth about his creation. Thanos thinks about what Uranos told him about how he held out alone against his own people in a psychic siege that lasted for years, yet Alas is reduced to nothing against two Eternals. Droog finds the designs on Thanos, who wants to leave quickly. Thanos returns to the physical realm, telling his father that he found what he needed in his mind and he'll be whole again. Domo gets to work on the resurrection engine again, running it through on Thanos, but again, it doesn't work. Domo reveals that Thanos' parents used the power of Kronos to marry deviant and eternal material together, and he was left with some natural connectors such as spiritual, physical, and psychic, which could then be integrated into the machine. But currently they are all jammed with a substance he doesn't understand. Domo says that there is something deeply wrong within Thanos, and it's covering every part of him and congealing around in him, and he's just not the creature his father and mother made, he's something something else entirely now. Thanos laughs, knowing he's done the one thing no Eternal could. He has changed himself so much the machine no longer recognizes him, and now even in defeat he has proven himself greater than any Eternal alive or dead. He kills Domo for failing him anyway, wanting to go to Thanos so he can return to the time stream, wanting the Oceanic Watch and Droog to join him. Droog wonders what they'll be doing in the time stream, and Thanos reveals that he'll be destroying Earth, giving Machine the codes to Uranos Armory and the Doomsday failsafe. Machine activates the codes, and Droog wonders if there was some type of trick he could have done to the machine to intercept the coded message, but he would have to have set that trap a long time ago. A psychic alert goes out to all Eternals, and they immediately understand what is going on and they must rush to Thanos, but the Avengers are keeping them in combat, dooming the world without even knowing what is happening. Cersei tells them to link to the Avengers' minds, revealing to the heroes that Thanos is on Earth and he's minutes from destroying it, and if they don't let them go, he'll succeed. Captain America tells his team to stand down and for the Eternals to go. Thor says that he too has had visions of Thanos, wanting to know what is going on, but the Eternals teleport away to Thanos. Icarus asks what their plan is, so Ajax reveals that the armory of Uranos is opened and they know where it is now, and only the Prime Eternal has control over it, which they can override once Thanos is dead. Icarus is happy with the simple plan of kill Thanos as the Mad Titan appears, calling the heroes such disappointments as the Oceanic Watch attack the Eternals. Machine knows the Eternals are aware that the Oceanic Watch are just a diversion as Icarus smashes into Thanos, but the villain hits him back, finding him a delight, wanting the hero to chase him forever so they can continue their dance. Thanos wants to know how the Eternals knew he was leaving for the time stream via Thanos, wondering if Droog told them. The detonation begins priming as Thanos grabs Droog, knowing that he could have been a footstool for the rest of his life, but now he'll just be his final murder on Earth. Thanos' body, however, begins bubbling up as Machine says that he has been programmed that if anything classified, like the Armory of Uranos, is activated, he would also activate Phastos' failsafe in Thanos. Machine reveals that Droog planted the failsafe in the codes in case Thanos ever wiped his mind after learning how to use the failsafe codes in the first place. Thanos is consumed by his own body as Droog is impressed with his past self, knowing that he could gloat over Thanos, but he won't, instead kicking him off into the time stream, hoping Thanos will come back to play again later and maybe by then he'll have upped his game. Machine knows that Droog is thinking he'll probably regret saying that to Thanos as the Eternal deactivates the armory, wanting everyone to know he saved them and that they can applaud whenever they wish. The Eternals don't applaud, but Droog knows others will as later Cersei explains everything to the Avengers, who aren't happy that she let Thanos rule over Earth since it's their planet. Cersei tells Tony that she promised to tell him the truth and she will, knowing Tony stands in front of her with only a few decades left of his life and he has the gall to say that Earth is their planet. She knows that it's the Eternals' planet and always has been, and they've been a good landlord, but he and the others can't judge the things they do keep from them. Cersei does know with that said, the Avengers should not trust the Eternals. Thor tries to stand up for them, but Cersei reminds him that they were all grown up when Odin was still drinking himself unconscious every night with whatever he could find. Sprite and Brandy arrive, upset the heroes are arguing and interrupting their slumber party. Sprite assumes that they won, wanting to just go home now. Cersei and Sprite take their leave as Tony reminds Namor that he said Cersei was up to something, but Namor reminds him that he didn't care. Later at Celestia, Cersei knows that this isn't the win many of them think it is, and none of this will end well. Athena thinks that it will, since now with the design scripture of the Deviants, they could come up with a way to heal them of their excess deviations. Cersei knows that this isn't anything and it doesn't matter since Phastos is still in exclusion and Gilgamesh has disappeared. Ajax notices Icarus isn't listening as the hero says he's needed elsewhere. Icarus heads to see Sophia Robson, who says she saw the news about Little Hollow being saved by the Eternals. She says that he saved the town, but he couldn't save her son. She leaves Icarus outside as Machine knows that he will continue to help people, but for a second Icarus is glad to have been coded the way he is since he has hope for the future, but Machine knows that will fade in a couple of hours after he learns who the new Prime Eternal is. At Olympia, the new Prime Eternal is revealed to be Droog, who wants to use his new Deviant database to locate what beings the Deviants have catalyzed and where they can find Deviant DNA. Machine gets to work displaying the entirety of Earth, which is mostly derived from Deviant DNA. Droog notes how the entire world is covered, so he decides to narrow the search and factor in intelligence and sentience. The machine narrows the search, finding a few locations. Droog knows that one place is Lemuria, wanting to know what the other is since it seems to have a lot of deviants there. Machine reveals the other place is Krakoa, the capital of the mutants who recently just expanded to Mars. Bruce finds that shocking, knowing it sounds like a lot of excess deviation is happening and needs to be culled.